happening?
We can see you on the screen. You are on this is on a speaker view.
No?
So far the
Anyway,
speaker view is just the yellow.
okay, let me start. Hello, everyone. There are about 12 participants here, including the four of us. Good evening, good evening, good evening. I can see my cousin in there. We see our vice chairman right here. Mariela, good evening. My name is Joey Omila, and Melvin is there, and the others, there's all over. Anyway, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, everyone, wherever you are. The National Federation of Filipino-American Association, also known as NaFFA, welcomes you all to our first series of four sessions entitled History and Culture in celebration of the Filipino-American History Month here in the United States. Please welcome the NaFFA Southern Region Chairman Melviona, we call May Thomson from Florida, to open our session. And welcome you all.
Good evening. Welcome to our event tonight. And just want to let you know, he called me Melviona Thomson. Friends call me May. So that is fine. And I'm welcoming you from the Smoky Mountains in North Carolina. I'm in my cabin right now, and I just want to make sure that everyone is welcome. Now, for the next 3 Sundays, we will witness different dances from different dance troupes. It is in celebration of our Filipino-American History Month. Now, just want to let you know that it is the time for us to appreciate the effort of all those dancers or performers because of their current situation, that much effort is being put to it. In 1991, the Filipino-American National Historical Cultural Society Board of Trustees proposed the first annual Filipino-American History Month to commence in October of 1992. That is in commemoration of the first Filipinos who landed in Morro Bay, California. That was on October 18th of 1587. So the goal for this event is to unify all of us and also to celebrate this important event for all the Filipinos. You know, from our chairman, national chairman, Brendan Flores, he emphasized about the resilience of the Filipinos in the past and now that we have, or now and then. So resiliency is the word. With the President Biden, he emphasized the word heroism, and that is accounting for the value and embodying the heart, the courage, and the value that define the United States. So we thanked him and our national
Melviona, we lost you. Okay.
and cultural director. Thank you so much, Joey.
No, thank you. There you go, ladies and gentlemen, and all our viewers. Once again, thank you and welcome. Now that our NaFFA, by the way, is the shortened term for the National Federation of Filipino-American Associations. The chairman of Southern Region was the one who welcomed you all, that Melviona, May we call her Thomson. Let me introduce now myself. My name is Joey Omila. I'm currently the Cultural Advisor of NaFFA Southern Region. I'm also the Director of Cultural Affairs of the Philippine Cultural Foundation Incorporated and the Executive Director and Choreographer of Tampa's Philippine Performing Arts Dance Company. In addition, I was a former member of the Salingawi Dance Troupe of UST, the Bayanihan, the National Dance Company of the Philippines, Fiesta Filipina International, and the Carilagan International Fashion and Dance Company. I will be your moderator for all 4 sessions starting tonight and the next 4 Sundays. So don't forget to tune in next Sunday and every Sunday of October as we present history and culture presented to you by NaFFA Southern Region. Tonight, we have a fascinating guest speaker who will educate and inform us the indigenous Blaan people of South Central Mindanao. So without ado, let me introduce to you this exceptional guest for our first session here of history and culture. Josephine Arjo, as a nickname, Cataran Latimban Cariño Turner, is a U.S. citizen who immigrated from the Philippines and currently resides in metropolitan Atlanta, Georgia. She is married and mother of 2 children, and she is proud of her heritage belonging to the Blaan indigenous peoples group of South Central Mindanao. She graduated with a Bachelor of Science in Agriculture, major in plant pathology from the University of the Philippines at Los Baños. She later learned master's degree in environmental and natural resources management from the University of the Philippines. She has also achieved Certificate of Accomplishment of Philippine Arts and Culture's massive open distance e-learning courses. Recently, she was awarded the Public Leadership Credential by the Harvard University, Harvard Kennedy School. Before immigrating to the United States in 2006, she worked in Sarangani province as the Luntiang Lumad project manager. Following the role, she worked at the Indigenous People Development Program also as a manager. As a cultural advocate and co-founder of KafyeBlaan Empowerment Inc, she created and maintained cultural advocacy websites and Facebook pages highlighting cultural masters and their skills transfer specific to indigenous peoples' culture from her own home region. She is currently engaged by the Philippine Senate Committee on Cultural Communities as a member of the Technical Working Group for the following acts: Community Intellectual Rights of Indigenous Cultural Communities / Indigenous Peoples Act and the Comprehensive Anti-Discrimination Act. She serves as a member of the board for 3 nonprofit organizations in the state of Florida: Galing Foundation Incorporated, Nick Kajak Elementary School Foundation Incorporated, and the Ministry of Motion International Dance Company Incorporated. In addition, she's a certified program management professional, a project management professional, an Argyle certificate practitioner by the Project Management Institute. She is also a certified professional Scrum Master 1. She is a business owner, a founder, and a COO of ACT International Consulting LLC, an educational consultancy providing online mentoring of leadership program and project management and Argyle coaching. Ladies and gentlemen, with all this credential, let's welcome this fascinating, lovely lady, Josephine Arjho Cariño Turner, our special guest tonight.
Hello po.
Hello. Hello,
Magandang gabi po.
Josephine Arjo.
Magandang
Woo,
gabi po, kababayan.
I love your outfit. Look at that outfit. Beautiful. How are you, Josephine?
It's good, great weather here in Atlanta. Fiu Kifu from Atlanta, that's our Blaan way of saying good evening. Fiu Flafus, good morning if you are tuning in the Philippines right now. Magandang umaga po sa ating lahat. And I'm happy to be here. Maraming salamat, NaFFA. Happy Filipino-American Month celebration.
Wonderful. That's a very nice greeting. Thank you. So are you ready for some of the questions that I wrote down? Okay, probably it's better to guide you this way. Okay, Arjo. May I call you Arjo, Josephine?
Opo, Arjo.
Oh,
because when you call me Josephine, it seems like I did something wrong, right?
Yeah, it reminds me when you say Josephine, it reminds me of Josephine Bracken of
Oh,
Osarisa.
yes.
Arjo, for my sake and the sake of our viewers, will you please explain? I'm so intrigued with what I just introduced you. What is a professional Scrum Master?
Well, professional Scrum Master is the entry level of all of the Scrum certifications provided by Scrum.org. It is one of the agile methodologies that is really like the trend right now, especially on project management, among project management professionals. But more than that, that is from the Scrum.org. But my profession is really a program management professional and project management professional. These are all professional certifications that you know what you're doing when you are running programs and when you are running projects, and that is with Project Management Institute. So Scrum is one of the project management methodology that is more agile, adaptive, flexible. So it might be very, very strange to some, but I don't know how many among the participants are new are into project management, especially IT. They might knew this safe, agile, these kinds of certifications that are in demand, especially right now.
Thank you for that. Finally, now I know what is a Scrum management. Thank you. Very, very, very unique kind of job. Okay, my next thing is we'd like to know, all our viewers would like to know, where were you born in the Philippines that you are so engrossed with the Blaan people?
Yeah, I was born in Landan, Pulomulok, South Cotabato. That is in Region 12. So if you had been to Mindanao, that is South Central Mindanao. Manila, General Santos City is the main point of entry for air travel. Then you travel maybe around 45 minutes to Pulomulok, then up in the mountain. Literally, where I was born is up in the foot of Mount Matutom. So visually, that's what I could, give you.
Well, we were neighbors when we were young. Oh, no, you were not born yet. I was born in Parang Cotabato, Southern Cotabato, up in the mountain in the plantation of my parents called Bugasan. And that's nice. So you're not very far from me. And I remember the Jangas was the old name of General Santos. And Glan, we also had a house in Glan. Fabulous. Now, where were your parents from? Where are your parents from? Were they also from your region? Are they also Blaan?
My late mom, my mom passed away in 2019. My late mom was a pure Blaan from a big clan. My father originally came from Leyte of Carino, Ilocano, Waray, mixed blood. Then they became part of the first migrant settlers in General Santos City. And you mentioned about the Jangas. Jangas is one of the plants actually, na Blaan yan siya na name. So it was named after the Jangas is an old name talaga ng General Santos City. That is a Blaan term. It's a plant with thorns. So if you've been to General Santos City, it can be found among one of those plants grown in the park in front of the City Hall of General Santos City. So it's a mixture of, I'm a mixture of both the indigenous peoples half and then half yung sabi sa Mindanao, migrant settlers. So Christian and indigenous person.
Now, since you were born in London, Polomolo, South Cotabato. So I was born in, so you're not very far from me. And wow, that is something new. The Jangas, I didn't know was a Blaan term. That's fascinating for me. And that is now known, General Santos, the land of Pacquiao. Right?
It's more famous to be tuna. Tuna is really more of it. Yeah, he is there, but nice. It's good to have famous people and icons. But General Santos City before Manny Pacquiao is really known as the tuna capital of the Philippines. So more than anything else, that's in the economic side of the city. That's
Wow.
really where General Santos City shines all over the world.
Wow. I mean, I love what Pacquiao did to the Philippines, putting Philippines in the map, but I'm not in the sports side. That's why you're here tonight, because I love culture. That is my blood. So anyway, I just wanted to ask you, could you tell me and our viewers what is the meaning of Arjo? It's a very unique name. It's spelled Arjho. How did you decide to be called Arjo?
Well, in my family, it's really Jojo. There's three of us: Jocelyn, Josephine, me next, then Joseph. Out of five, there's Jo. But when I started in high school, ROTC, I had my high school at Mindanao State University. I was a captain, and then the captain would call you by your last name and your first name, right? So
Right.
Carino Josephine is so long for them to name you. So they made it Carjo. Carjo is kinda in Bisaya, Kuya Joey, buki. Like it's tacky. So we drop
It's
off the
tacky.
C and we combine the AR and then the JHO from my Josephine. And I like it.
Arjo.
So it became Arjo. And I embraced that name when I was in college and from now on. So
I
that
I
makes me
think
even unique because so many people thought that I'm actually a male
wow.
because of the nickname. But that is my public name. I still
Right.
retain my privacy because very few people really knew that I am Josephine. So it works out
Wonderful.
best. Yeah.
I think I like Arjo. Arjo is very unique. But it reminds me when I hear of somebody I don't know, Arjo, I always think it's Greek or somebody very powerful like the Greek. Now, Arjo, could you please tell us why are you so engrossed in being an advocate for the Blaan indigenous people of South Central Mindanao. I mean, I was reading all about you and I'm so fascinated. People like you are outstanding for the Philippines, especially this year. It's the indigenous year that President Duterte confirmed. He said to honor all the indigenous tribes, 110 of the
Over.
entire Philippines. And Blaan people are just one, but the Blaan people are one of the most unique, like the Tiboli. Could you tell us why you are so strong in your advocacy?
Well, number one, growing up, I was bullied and discriminated just because I am half Blaan. And I'm called names that are really discriminatory, names that you are not being treated equally because they think that you are less than them because you are katutobo, you are indigenous person. So what I did is that I stopped in my elementary school on my first grade because I could not take the bullying. I waited for my younger sister to get on first grade because she is more fighter than I am. So what I did is that I really strived hard and I ended up graduating as the class valedictorian, the first one that is of Blaan roots. So I used my brains to somehow not attack on people. I'm kind of more like a resilient. I used my way up using my education. And a part of that is really embracing who I am. And because of the discrimination growing up and so many things, even when I was in UP Los Baños, people say, what is Blaan? Makakain ba yan? Is that can be eaten? So I learned that the awareness of the people about the indigenous peoples all over the Philippines is very, very low. So instead of fighting them back, we find a way we can educate, use that lack of information, knowledge as a strength for you, as an opportunity to share and advocate. So that has become my lifestyle because of that discrimination that I did not get bitter, bitter. I get better in using that as an opportunity to educate. So with you being NaFFA, this is a very large organization all over the USA. This is an opportunity. You've given us an opportunity. I am representing KafyeBlaan as a board. And that is our advocacy that we'll get to know people. People will get to know us beyond cultural dances, beyond cultural presentation, beyond intermission numbers, because we are people. That's what we wanted to advocate. We are people. We are as equal as anyone else. If we are given the same tools, we can do it too.
Arjo, NaFFA, Southern Region, and National is very proud that you are our guest tonight. With what you just said, we are so proud that you are representing one of the 110 indigenous tribes of the Philippines with great passion. Now, because of that, we would like to show our viewers your beautiful outfit. I mean, I'm a dance troupe. I have those outfits, but this one I have never seen. It has to be a real Blaan who has this fabulous. Can you show us and explain to us each of your accessories and the blouse, and of course it's not cold
Yes.
blouse, and your
Oh,
skirt. There
yeah.
you go, guys. Ladies and
So
gentlemen, look
yes.
at that.
Also, all of this are made by Blaan that I've worked with, my old folks. This is called SWAT, the comb. So if you notice, for many people, the distinctive difference between our comb and that Bolly comb has the spokes. There's mirror. In the Blaan, it's flat. But the colors of the indigenous peoples are mostly the primary colors. If you see, there's red, black, white.
And white.
And
Yeah.
the earrings is another done by another indigenous peoples community that I've worked with. They did it in 2004 as a result of the School of Living Tradition project. And the
How is the
beads.
earrings hanging? Is that hanging?
It's
Oh, okay,
it's
on your
really
ear
like
hole.
it's
Yeah,
really like hanging like up in.
like an earring. Yeah.
It's not heavy because it's very light. And part of the beads is the seed beads. There's what we call the seed beads. That they use it then with the glass beads. These are all done. The designs, as you can see, these are like people, family. It's like representation of family, people, and the mountains and the sleeves, the red, and the brass belt. It's a shared material culture by so many indigenous peoples. This is an heirloom that I got.
Arjo, can you remove the brass belt because they have to see that?
Oh,
Can
okay.
you just remove? Look at now the Blaan people are the most colorful. Look at that brass belt. It's made of brass,
Yes.
very very old. What you're wearing, and the ones at the end are belts. Is it?
Bells. These are all bells. I also have one. The most familiar now is the beaded bells, wherein it's beaded, but there's only like some bells. And the
Right.
textile that I'm using, I don't know if you're able to.
If you can remove your virtual so we
I'll
can
have to
see
get
the
my virtual
right,
thing.
so we can see it better. That's
That
a
one
beautiful, yeah.
I can remove.
Okay,
So if
that's
you're
better.
able to see
Okay.
that, this is the most prized Blaan Tabi. It's one of the designs woven by my Lola. If you are familiar of the National Living Treasures of the Philippines or the Gamma Ba awardees, she's one of the latest one, but she passed away this year in January 2000,
I'm sorry. We're sorry to hear
2024.
that.
But
And
this
how
is
do you call
one
this fabric? How do you call the fabric?
Tabi, Blaan Tabi. So if the
Tabi.
most famous one in our region is that Bolit Nalak, which is so many people are using that. But the Blaan Tabi, because there's very, very few among from old folks that are still alive, there is only one community in South Cotabato that's making it. It's from her family of Fuyabing. So this
Arjo,
is
can
a
you tell us what is the material used for this?
Abaca is the main the textile. There's a documentary of this a lot already done by NCCA, and all of the dyes are natural. That means they're plant based, usually from the community, and they're done by hand, of course, like
And
the loom weaving.
what makes it shiny?
Beeswax. They use beeswax as a form for it to be like
Wow.
and
Wow,
then they
look at
use the
that.
shell. Their iron is the shell. The shell that you really see. They use the shells to iron it and beeswax to make
Biswa.
it real shiny. So
And
it is a
the
labor of
fabric is called what?
tabi pa rin. Blaan tabi, but it's different designs.
And what is the difference of the Blaan Tabi from the Tiboli Tinalak?
It's mostly the colors and then the distinctive designs. Like I think for us, it's really like brighter more. That Boli more like the brownish tone, but ours we have like the red and then a different one. It's so hard to distinctively, but so many textile that you see out there in the Philippines are usually that Boli. Very rare from the Blaan Tabi because as we said, the preservation of Blaan Tabi really come in like maybe in less than 10 years ago because of the threat that this textile is going away because of very only one was left. Then now she passed away. Now her her family are the ones producing it. Only one community. While among the Bolis, there lots of them are producing it. So they are really flourishing way ahead of our textile.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful, Arjo. Now, on a different tone now and a different subject, I know, I have been a dancer in the past. I have met many Philippine dance group here in the USA and also in Europe when I was traveling with different dance group and the Philippine Tourism Fiesta Filipina and then Carilagan Fashion Show. So we met dance troupe, small dance troupe, big dance troupe, that's trying their best to preserve the Philippine culture all over the world. And there has been a lot of wrong misconception of how to pronounce the word. You started the show by saying it's an insult to say the word wrongly with your tribe. So now I would like you to express the right way to say the word to all our viewers, because it's something that I find very interesting and very safe, because eventually when we come to the Philippines or we meet some of your tribes here in the United States or Europe or wherever we are, we want to say it properly instead of an
Yes.
insulting. So take your
Yes.
time. You want to show the video?
We at the KafyeBlaan Empowerment Inc. When what I mean, KafyeBlaan means beautiful. The beauty of the Blaan people. Kafye is like when I say, oh, Kafye, oh, that is so good, that is so nice. Kafye. It's like kind of like an adjective. So KafyeBlaan, it's the beauty of the Blaan people. So
Yeah.
we're trying to
Arjun,
really share
yeah.
positive message. The spelling of our name is Blaan. So Blaan. If you notice so many early published articles online, most of the time that you see, they have the B apostrophe Laan. Now, for so
Wrong.
many people who are not used to having words that are consonant, vowel, especially Tagalog, because you are mostly consonant vowel or vowel consonant, like maganda, malaki, those are kind of terms. In our language, we have lots of consonant, vowel. So if you put apostrophe after the B, so many people will pronounce it as bilaan. Pronouncing it as bilaan is like saying an N word here in the USA. That
Oh
kind
my
of,
God.
derogatory like impact. So I was discriminated, as I said, growing up, because people calls me when they're calling you bilaan ka, mangmang ka, you don't know, they're treating you less. So we are going to start with our name. And the sad fact is that our problem is that the national records of the Philippines still bears the B apostrophe Laan.
Oh,
So our KafyeBlaan advocacy is really engaging our indigenous peoples leaders to act on it through a resolution, making the Commission on sa Wikang Pilipino, the National Commission for the Culture and the Arts, the Library Congress of the Philippines, to hopefully change this in their spelling, because media people, especially like, we have the national awardees of our Manlilika ng Bayan, when they have their documentation, it still bears the B apostrophe Laan. But what? Because that is the one in the official records. So I hope that the National Commission on Indigenous Peoples are really going to work on it along with our Indigenous Peoples leaders, because we have now the Indigenous Peoples mandatory representatives. They are like council members in the cities and in the provinces, that they will be the ones to really impact policies to change the spelling. Because
wow.
as you can see in this book, why they are half, our younger generations are half mostly. Most are lost in our own cultural identity. And so many younger generations thought that it is just fine that their name is misspelled like that. But they are mad when they are being called as bilaan, quote unquote, because they did not know that the origin of the spelling, the functionality of the spelling, there's no contraction. There was no letter taken out after the B to be replaced by the functionality of an apostrophe.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you for that. I feel so guilty because When I was dancing with Bayanihan and Fiesta Filipina, we had a dance called Blaan. And now when I hear you say that, we always carry it around the world. And I was a dancer, and once in a while I'm the MC, and I always said blit bilaan and all. And now I feel
Mm.
so bad, but I really do apologize. But that's a wonderful learning for all our viewers here tonight, and fabulous that through NaFFA Southern Region, NaFFA National, that we're educating all our listeners about your indigenous tribe. And now on another term, have you shared your knowledge with other Filipino Americans there in Georgia and in the United States with your being so passionate about the Blaans?
Yes, of course. And I really have to thank the Galing Foundation for that. Miss Melviona have known Galing Foundation. So when I immigrated here in Atlanta in 2006, I did not know any organizations. It was only in 2007 that I got engaged with the Galing Foundation founded by Miss Maritoni Dayalutgers. And it is focused on helping establish school libraries in the Philippines. But as an offshoot of that, part of what we do is sharing Filipino culture. So I am not dancing here in the Philippines. I have not done Blaan dances. But here, if I have to represent, I have to level up. I have to dance. I have to share Blaan dance that I did not do in the Philippines. I don't have a choice. I am not born really a dancer, but I just did what I did best, learned from my indigenous peoples. And I started doing advocacy online. As I said, we cannot win the battle by being mad with other people just because they did not know. Like you said, for me, I humbly accept your apology. You are not alone. There's so many people that are like that. But it is not too late for us to take action and having a forum like this to educate, raise awareness, because not all people that says that word are racist. They did not know. So it's an opportunity for us. So I use social media. I have created lots of Facebook accounts. If you are in my Facebook, most of the Facebook pages that I have shared, I'm mostly co-admin or a creator of that. And especially the KafyeBlaan have really also empowered younger generations to speak up because it is our collective action. It is not an individual person's efforts. Our leaders from the communities, they might not have access to all of these technologies, but we do have. So if we have to educate other people, I find the niche of using the power of social media, using the power of creating websites to raise cultural advocacy so that when I share to you, you and Miss Melviona have talked a lot prior to this one. I only have to share to you links, 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 so that I don't need to explain everything.
Thank you. Wow, that's a very powerful. Now, Arjo, do you think you can play one of your beautiful videos that you showed me? That
Um,
maybe they will see something about who the Blans are, because
I'll have to
Arjo has very nice videos.
yes, I'll
Um,
have to it's not I think it's not from I wanted to share the one that was done by my my Lola let me see in here KafyeBlaan.
your
I'm
grandmother who
gonna
just passed
yes,
away. Yeah.
the one that was done by my Lola. I don't know if are you
Mhm.
able to see my screen? This are you
We
able to
can
see
see
this
your
screen?
screen.
Are you able
Yep.
to
You
see
just have,
this one?
yes,
Okay, this is
yes, we can.
from the KafyeBlaan Facebook page. Let me see if I'm able to have this on big screen.
You
Uh,
pronounce this as
uh,
KafyeBlaan. KafyeBlaan. Blaan
KafyeBlaan. Are you able
Empowerment.
to hear?
Yes, but we can't see the video yet of your
We don't
grandma.
see.
Hmm.
Hold on. I'm sharing the screen already. Are you not? You're not seeing any videos at all?
No, it's
No.
just,
Hold on. Hold
that's
on.
okay. Okay.
Hold on. Yeah, it's
Now, to our
hold
viewers
on.
there, thank you very much for viewing in tonight. There you go. We can see it now.
Okay.
Explain
Hold on.
what we're looking at.
Hold on. It's just a minute, 17 seconds, and then I will explain after.
Put some sound. Jay, you're watching, so I know. I'm sure you're going to help us. Melvin said that Your technical expertise would be better probably next Sunday. Jay, looking forward to working with you next Sunday. We can't hear the music, Arjo.
You can.
You wanna enlarge it?
It's
We're not getting it. Okay.
yeah.
Let's just continue now, Arjo. Now,
Okay.
Arjo, in your bio, I read that KafyeBlaan you
Mhm.
founded in the Philippines when you were there. Obviously, that's in Sarangani Bay, somewhere there. And can you
Um,
explain to our viewers what you did there that made you so popular in museums in Manila, in here in America? I'm sending
um,
I'm sending our recording to Smithsonian University so that you would probably be one of the guest speaker, they said. So that
yeah.
would be nice. Yeah.
I just wanted to correct the KafyeBlaan Empowerment Inc. Is an organization organized by young professionals. Most of the team members here are also my former teammates of the Indigenous Peoples Development Program. It is registered in the Philippines, not here in the USA. But it was the idea, the conceptualization of having an organization, especially that will advocate for the strength of the Blaan, originated here when Annalie Eday dropped by Atlanta after her East-West Fellowship program in Hawaii. Then in 2014, she registered it and a SEC registration in the Philippines. Because I am a US citizen, I cannot be in the SEC registration, right? For most of us to know here. So I accepted the role of being an honorary board of trustee. I am not in the official document, but I serve as a consultant to the organization and really advocate because I have more time online to do things. So the KafyeBlaan is really advocating for us to be known, as I said, that as indigenous peoples that we can be proud of and empower the younger generations. Get to know us as people beyond the cultural presentation, beyond program, beyond street dancing. That we have something to offer. That we are equal partners of government, especially development. So these are. I am the only one. If you would know the people I tagged you in Facebook that these are the board members, we are wearing different hats and we are excelling in our different areas. But we are very empowered because we find it a need to speak up and especially help our traditional IP leaders that there is a balance of the traditional, the technical, the modern, that wherever we are, we can be modern, but we are still culturally grounded. That's our motto.
Beautiful. Okay, Blaan, thank you. And now we have a surprise for you, Arjo. I know you're close to the lady, but she's all the way to the Philippines and woke up at 8 o'clock this morning. So we would like to welcome one of Marjo's closest friend. Marion, are you there? We would like to present. Where's Marion? Where's Marion? She woke up at 8
Hi,
o'clock.
hello.
Oh, there she is,
Hi.
Marion. Marion Descalar from Davao City. Now, Marion,
Yes,
hello, how
hello.
are you? Thank you for joining us from Davao City. Now considered as one of the most beautiful and cleanest cities in the Philippines. How are you? How are you surviving the
Um,
COVID?
I'm good. By God's grace, I'm healthy. And my son is healthy, though my mother, she just got off her COVID
Oh, I'm sorry to
bout
hear
for
that.
almost a
Oh,
month. Yeah, but thanks to the vaccine, she just had a mild COVID,
oh,
and now
that's
she's
good.
okay. Yeah.
That's good.
Thank you.
Well,
Thank you
anyway,
for having me here.
oh, thank you for accepting our invitation, Marion. You are a surprise to our special guest here tonight. And of course, and thank you for waking up at 8 o'clock in the morning. And so
Oh,
right now, Marion, can you tell me how you met Arjo and why you two are so close to each other and so passionate in being an advocate from thousands of miles and you're still talking about blondes?
okay. I was trying to recall. I could until Arjo. talked about the word Blaan, I could not remember how we met. But then when she said uh, that story about the contraction of the consonants, I suddenly recalled how we met. We met on an FB post, which she posted about, well, she posted a video. She was on that video explaining how to pronounce Blaan and Boli.
Yes.
I got to her post because a mutual friend liked it and it appeared on my news feed. And then I made a comment. I said, "Yeah, right," because around 20 something years ago, I had a roommate at UP. She was a linguistics major, and she was Batangueña, but she told me that, the proper way to pronounce Boli is not Tiboli, it's Boli. And then I found
Oh,
it really,
really?
it's Boli.
Tiboli
Yeah.
is
Yeah,
pronounced as Boli?
It's
Boli. She
pronounced as
said
Boli. It's
Yeah, like
Boli.
a silent T, like a French.
a
Yeah.
silent T. Yeah,
Instead of Tiboli, you
Ti-
say Bloli, Boli.
Boli.
Boli. But
Wow.
still,
Boli.
your tongue says
Your
that
tongue is with the
doesn't
T.
speak, but yeah, it's
Boli.
Boli,
Boli.
like that. And so when I went to
Fabulous.
Davao, yeah, I was studying in UP, but uh, during summer break, I would tell my brothers and my friends how it was pronounced, and they just found it funny and difficult. So that's how we met through that Blaan and Polly video, and then we became friends. And then I found out that we have a common friend,
Mentor.
yes, a mentor. And then I later found that she was deeply into in advocacy, not just about how to speak the word Blaan, but um, I can relate. I but I don't know how to explain this, but she is for me from a deep past. I don't have really close. I have never encountered or had close relations or friendships with uh, persons from the marginalized group who are like Arjo. And for me, it's an honor, and I'm grateful to know her because she represents my past. She is not another person. She is a person who is from my past, and then she has thoughts that I cannot think of because I have a settler's mind. So
Hmm?
I am every
Fascinating.
time I see her on
Fascinating.
my, yeah, every time I see her on my news feed, especially when she posts something about the unethical use of their design, I really react because that is also close to my heart. That issue, the issue of unethical use and misuse of their design. So whenever she
Wonderful.
posts something, like I share it away, and I give my 2 cents.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love
So
reading all her posting. Thank you. Thank you. Mariam, thank
yes,
you very much. And all that. I mean,
thank
that's a
you.
wonderful testimonial. After this fascinating testimonial from Mari, I would like to show you now another video if Arjo will be able to show it. But if not, Arjo, can you show that video about the Blaan people?
Okay.
Any?
Is it the Fernbank Museum? I have the video ready for the Fernbank Museum that is like around 2 minutes left, and then the Flalok project. That would be like
We'll probably just Arjo go to question and answers.
yes,
We
yes,
are
yes, yes,
8:51, if you don't
yes.
mind. So now, ladies and gentlemen, we have heard and learned so much about the Blaan from our special guest Arjo. The table is now open for anybody who has any question about Arjo, and also please raise your hands if you have any questions. So and unmute yourself and to ask any question. Who will be the first one? Anybody? Can we see everyone? Let me click on all everyone. Unmute yourself if you have a question. I cannot see the entire screen. I'm going
I
to
did
the
said ask all to
gallery.
unmute.
I have the gallery. I see my Arnell, my nephew, all the way from Ohio. Ohio. How are you, sir? I hope you're finding it. He's also from Mindanao. Anybody who has a question? Mariela, our Vice Chairman National. Jay, our Vice
Okay,
Chairman for Southern Region.
I'll
There
go
you
the
go.
first
Arnell,
shot. Go on,
please.
Arnel. Yeah, kumusta kayo lahat? And I just would like to thank the guest speaker, Arjo. You're close to my heart. I
Oh,
basically grew up in Blaan, which is used to be
oh,
now Sarangani.
yes.
Joy Mila is my mom's first cousin.
Oh,
I'm based here in Salt Lake City, Utah now. And my thought process is like, man, I'd like to produce a document, a written document for local and international tourists that visits Blaan. So they'll have like a compendium of commonly used words or phrases in Blaan, interpreted in English and also in Cebuano. I'm wondering if that's already available that you can share with us. Okay. Gusto ko yung maliit lang na huwag yung
what I'm sharing now, because you talk about Blaan. I work for Sarangani Province, as I said, for the Indigenous Peoples Development Program. This is the first Blaan dictionary with Blaan English Filipino, produced by Flalok Project, which is an initiative of the KafyeBlaan, but it was implemented by the Conrado Alcantara Ladislao Foundation, CLAFI. Yung SASI Bangus in Sarangani, their foundation produces it. This is funded by us Americans. USAID funded ito, and this is a product of that. And this is just an offshoot. So it's good that you have an interest, but definitely the department, the good news is that the Department of Education, they have this IP education as part of the curriculum. So if you are a community or a school with dominant indigenous peoples population, they try to integrate the indigenous curriculum as part of the mainstream curriculum. So they're using even like part of the language. So it's good that you raised that as an interest. A storytelling book, I'm gonna show you one. This is a USAID project. So this is like in Blaan, right? The resource person is my Lola, like in South Cotabato. But this is a big storytelling book written in Blaan with English translation and with Filipino translation. So it's like big storytelling books here. So there is, but the thing is that it is not for sale because it is part of the USAID funded project, but they welcome reproduction for reprinting. That's the one that they are doing right now, because the schools that benefited from this are very limited in Region 12. So there's an opportunity for people that if you really wanted to support the reprinting. The research has been done, material is already ready, but if you wanted to support for reprinting, that is also good. The Galing Foundation that I am part of here in Georgia, we were able to access like $1,000 somehow, like, grant for reprinting that was able to produce X number of big books that was distributed.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Very nice, Arjo. Anybody else who has a question? Manis, you put your unmute. Do you have any question? Miss Manis, I can see your screen. Unmuted.
Hi guys. This
Hi.
is Agnes. Hi, here in North Carolina.
North Carolina.
Yes, I used to live in Salt Lake City as well, and I know Kuya Arnel. Hi, Kuya Arnel.
Do you have any question?
Not really, but that was very informative, Ms. Joe.
Yeah,
Josephine.
I think so.
I don't know about that also, that the history of your beautiful costume. Yes, I just learned a lot tonight. Thank you for sharing with us.
I totally agree with you. Totally agree with you. Well, anyway, unfortunately, the Zoom session has to come to an end. as we promise all our viewers that we will be only 1 hour without any overtime. If there are no more questions from our officers, from the board and our viewers. Yes,
Joey,
ma'am.
just want, yeah,
Yes, Mariela.
yeah,
Mariela has a
yes.
question.
So
Mariela,
on,
good evening.
good evening. Well, Arjo, thank you so much on behalf of the National Board of NaFFA and also Florida. Thank you so much tonight for sharing your wealth of knowledge. I have learned so much. I
Me
love
too,
the
me too.
culture. I love the culture. And I can't wait to look forward to the next 3 sessions, really. I will make time for it. And I really want to learn more about Blaan.
Yeah.
Now I know how to say.
You said it right. You said
You
it
said
right,
it right.
Mariela.
Now I know how to say Boli.
Yep,
Boli, yeah.
Boli. Me too.
Boli.
Me too. I
Because
teach
I-
dances and I still use Blaan and Tiboli.
Blaan.
Now I will not
Yeah.
even use the word.
Mhm.
Said I
And every
also
time I
own.
say,
I also own that a belt that you have, which I bought in the Philippines. Oh my! Well, that is more intricate, but mine is it's
Beaded.
beads.
It's
Mine
Yeah,
is
the beaded.
beaded,
Well,
and then
it's
it has the
not-
belt.
and sewn into a Boli fabric.
Wow, fabulous, beautiful.
Yeah, thank you
Wow,
so much,
Mariela.
Arjo. Yes,
Me
Yeah.
too.
I also wanted to recognize, though, that in this group, I have a friend, Nerissa Piamonte. If you see her in the participant, she is
Marisa,
from
where
the
are you?
Mandaya Indigenous Peoples Group. She
Oh,
is
Nerissa,
she is a
welcome, welcome.
Mandaya princess herself. And then tomorrow we're
Mandaya.
actually going to have an event as well. And her mom is very active. And they have a specific as well traditional textile, a specific culture, and she's also a strong cultural advocate. So if you see the Nerissa Piamonte name, she is
Yes.
from the Mandaya Indigenous Peoples Group from Mindanao too.
Marisa,
Nerissa
Nerissa Plamonte, yeah, from
Piamonte.
NaFFA National here in America and NaFFA Southern Region, who sponsor of the Zoom. We would like to welcome you, Your Royal Highness. We respect your being a princess with the indigenous tribes of the Philippines, and we really, really love you. And thank you very much. If there's no more question, we would like to go on with our closing. Any other question? As I was saying, unfortunately, the Zoom has to come to an end, but if you enjoy the first session, don't forget to join us again next Sunday, October the 17th, same time. We will try to have a better technical viewing. We had some videos that was so prepared by Arjo, and because we're not experts and all that, so we hope we get some expert, what you call this, help next Sunday. Our special guest will be Sharon Nobleas, the director of Phil Millennials from Jacksonville, Florida, a fascinating organization teaching Phil-Am kids. And I've seen them here come to PhilFest in Tampa, all about the Philippine culture. These are kids from 3 years old to 12 years old, getting so much about the Philippine culture. So that's next Sunday. Don't forget, tune in for Phil Millennials. I would also like to thank Melvin Cadlaon. Melvin, you're still there. Thank you very much. We didn't work very well with it, but you tried your best and we really appreciate it. We couldn't show most of the slides and the videos, but I think, Arjo, we did very well just talking about it, and we learned much, much more. And lastly, we would like to thank our extraordinary guests, Josephine Arjo, Katuran Latimban, Cariño Turner. I'm going to make that into an exam with the NaFFA National, maybe next time, to please write down and spell the name of our first guest. And here she is telling you all, as they say it, Bong Salamat. Remember that in Blaan? An informative session. What a wonderful, wonderful, beautiful session we had here. The Blaans of South Central Florida. Arjo, on behalf of the NaFFA Southern Region, we would like to say, how do you say? Bong Blaan?
Bong Salamat.
Bong Salamat. Thank you. And hope to see you all next Sunday. And right now, I would like to give you our Vice Chairman for the Southern Region, Jay Capistrano, who would like to just say a few words to thank you for joining us here tonight. Jay, is all yours. He's the one, the good-looking one there, look like Kojak. There he is. Jay, it's nice to see you. God,
wow.
Lisa.
What a
So
delight.
good looking.
What a delight, Arjo. I have no words to say. Honestly, I grew up in the US since I was 10 years old. And all I know is one holistic Filipino community. And with that alone, I'm so proud to be a Filipino. But you know, tonight I learned that it's not enough to know about the Philippines. We need to know about each other in detail, because it's hard to move forward if you don't know your roots. And if you don't appreciate every single detail of your roots, how can you really move forward, right? So I'm so glad, I'm so blessed to have had you share with us your thoughts, your passion about your culture. One of the questions I wanted to ask, but I'm not sure, but how do, with everything that's happening in your life, right, as an American now, right, you're a US citizen, like how do you still find this passion, you know? So thank you so much. That wasn't really a question. I just want to say thank you, and I encourage every single one of us to research more about our passion and our nationality. So please invite other people for next week. Thank you, Joey. Thank you, Melviona. Thank you, Mariela. Thank you to all our guests tonight. And please welcome next week and invite more people so we can learn more about our culture. Take care and God bless.
Yes, that
Thank
is
you, Jay.
passion, as Miss Melviona said earlier. It's not an obligation, it is a passion.
Melviona, last words. Your last words, Melviona, to close. You're on mute. You're muted. You're muted. Mel, you're muted. Okay.
Yes. Thank you, everyone, for joining us tonight. I know that you had enjoyed the culture and the education that Josephine or Arjo had shared with you. So we'll see you next Sunday, and we have more surprise things.
Don't miss it. Well, Jay, you're gonna help us next week for our technical problem. And we will have a lot.
Yes,
we will
Jay
have
will
much more.
Yeah. Jay will be the one who's going to do the screen share next week for sure. And
Thank you. And
our welcome remark will be different too. Okay.
thank you again.
Thank you so much.
You. Thank you, Mel, and thank you, everyone. And don't miss the 3 Sundays. If you like this evening, you're gonna blow away for the next 3 Sundays. We have professional dance company, we have children dance company, and we will learn of how they preserve the culture here in America. And of course, the most authentic was tonight, and that is Arjo. Arjo, thank you so much. Thank you. And anybody who would like to communicate with Arjo, just communicate with the NaFFA Southern Region, and we'll be more than happy. And once again, on behalf of the NaFFA Southern Region and NaFFA National, maraming salamat. Bong, what is it?
Bong salamat. Bong
salamat. There you go. Everybody saying
bong means big. So it's like big, literally big.
Big
thank you. Yeah, bong is like, big bang, like bong. That's big. So big thank you.
NaFFA National will send you all kinds of Blaan words next week. We'll blast it to you. Thank you and bye-bye and good luck. See you next Sunday.
Yeah.
See you next
Shout
Sunday.
out to my husband for the big support. Really, he's
Mr.
here.
Bernard Turner, sir.
Yes.
Thank you for lending us your wife here tonight. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you, cousin. Thank you, Marion from Davao. And thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, Bong. Salamat.